What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Gorr. So back here again for another video. Today we have just been uploaded, I think an hour or so ago. We have new rock stars. I can't believe, why am I talking like that? New rock stars, Thor: Love and Thunder trailer breakdown, Easter eggs, and details you missed. Yeah, it's about 20 minute long video. You know what I'm saying? Eric Voss here over at New Rockstars are going to break down the different Easter eggs and things we missed within the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer, which was really good, really dope trailer. Didn't see my reaction? It's somewhere up here. You can definitely check it out. Really enjoyed it. It was a great trailer. I didn't like break it down, but I did go over like certain little scenes and bits here and there. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in my first initial reactions and thoughts, you should check that out. Anyways, though, let's see what Eric Voss has to say before we get into it. You let me know down below in the comment, how's your day? Hopefully it was pretty good, but if it wasn't, hopefully this makes it just a little bit better. Also, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, man. We're literally so close to getting 1,000 subscribers before summertime. If you've been rocking with your boy, you've been checking out my content, man, just go ahead and like the video, man, because you're gonna like it, one, but also subscribe. It's free. It takes less than 2 seconds. All right, let's go.
Welcome
1,000
to New
before
Rockstars. I'm
summertime.
Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the latest trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder,
Yes.
which finally reveals the face of the villain,
Gorr.
the God Butcher.
Yo, he looked
And
dope too.
like me, he looks sick.
Yeah, he
It is time
looks
for a
real dope.
frame-by-frame breakdown of all the details you missed, and not just because this is the second Marvel trailer in 1 week to lead with ass, though we actually do have to go frame by frame through that ass shot
Okay, I
because
got it.
there
Yeah.
are some interesting details there. Not the details you think, well, the details you think, but also more details than you think. Anyway, and our friends at Shortbox are giving away the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor: What If number 10 from 1978. Stick around to the end of this video to learn how to enter to win. Let's go.
Right. This is a really good trailer.
Now, let me tell you the story of the Space Viking.
Space
Thor,
Viking.
He was no ordinary man. He was a god.
Okay, we open with this same shot of Thor meditating beneath this wisdom tree that we saw in the last trailer, but a key difference, they have now added 2 figures hiking up to Thor from behind. It looks like a male and a female. Perhaps Peter Quill does look like Pratt's silhouette there. And then I would say either Nebula or Mantis, but this woman doesn't exactly match their silhouettes. So maybe Valkyrie, maybe Jane, maybe Gamora. Will this movie finally
No
remake Gamora
way.
with the rest of the Guardians? We
I
can actually
doubt it.
see that same tree behind Korg as he's regaling the kids. Maybe
Gotcha.
telling the kids, hey, don't bother Uncle Thor right now. He's getting some alone time. Now, this blue-skinned race is actually the same tribe that the Guardians fight alongside in the other shots. I'm thinking they're the Zatoan tribe of the planet Centauri 4, the same tribe as Yondu, which is why the Guardians feel such a kinship with this tribe, wanting to defend Yondu's home planet.
Gotcha.
So if this planet is
That'd be
Yondu's home
dope.
world of Centauri 4, that would make these other planets and stars in the sky part of the Alpha Centauri system, Alpha Centauri being the largest sun in the sky. And it's interesting that we can see so many of the other planets in the horizon,
So
because
close.
it could be how this movie visually conveys my theory that Centauri's neighboring planet of Centauri 6, referenced in Eternals as a past planet that the Eternals helped destroy to birth the Celestial, could get referenced in this movie. We might even see the ruins of that planet in the sky, and that could be the home world of Gorr, the reason why he hates all gods now. We see Thor powering up Stormbreaker. We actually see him coming down on whoever these raiders are in the final shot of the trailer. Then Thor pops the collar of his leather vest on the Benatar while the other Guardians turn to look. It actually looks like he may have borrowed some of these clothes from Peter Quill. Like, this looks like it used to be Quill's red jacket, but now the sleeves are
probably.
removed because, yeah, there's no way those tree trunks are gonna fit in the sleeves. Actually,
Tree
the shirt
trunks.
he's wearing looks like an artistic display of the 9 realms spread out across Yggdrasil, which of course is the Asgardian world's tree. And this whole tank and jeans look looks a lot like Kurt Russell's look in Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell, of course, playing Peter Quill's father of Ego. Moving on.
Good point.
After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey.
I like that.
When he got in shape, he went from dad bod
To God, bud.
Conquer bedwetting.
Ninja. I don't want to risk a copyright, you know what I think.
to god bod.
Okay, some new shots
God,
of New
bud.
Asgard and Tonsberg, Norway, and its status
Cruise
as a tourist
ships.
attraction now.
Right.
In addition to the cruise liners, one of them having the face of Volstagg, members of the Warriors
That's
3
what that
who
is?
died in Ragnarok. We can also see a golf course. Now, I'm not sure if these greens are on the same field where Hela broke Mjolnir and where Odin died. If so, it's kind of sad for tourism to carpet over that site. But actually, in
Good
the middle of that green is some figure that might be just a golfer with his caddy, or it might be that pedestal that contains the broken shards of Mjolnir. Those shards unable to be lifted and moved. And maybe now now that's Thor just sitting on it, thinking. Then Thor uses
Gotcha.
Stormbreaker to change into his Asgardian leathers. So if those were Peter Quill's clothes, I guess they're gone now. We can see Korg raiding Thor's goats. Let's give this a shot. Tangri and Tanyost? I don't know, but they translate to teeth bearers slash teeth snarler and then teeth grinder. These goats are famously
like that,
Thor's steeds from Norse mythology. But
Right.
like in the shot of this from the first trailer, this one also is just framed in a weird way to make me think that there is a third character who has been digitally removed from the trailer footage. Now I speculated it could be Beta Ray Bill, one of the versions of Thor
No
in the comics.
way.
Gotta make it into the
I
live
mentioned that in
action
my
at some point,
reaction.
so I'm praying that's the case. But behind them now in this shot, you can see more of those blue-skinned Centaurians. So
Right.
this still would be that same planet. And if that white shot was showing Gamora, she would be another surprise character that they might want to leave out of the trailer. Beta Ray Bill, Gamora, someone else. Let me know who you think is actually here in the comments below.
Good point.
Then more shots of Thor's Mr. Incredible style workout routine.
Mr.
Battle
Incredible.
ropes with these chains and a giant skeleton. I'm still wondering if it could be one of the mascots that Gorr has captured and tortured. Thor once again wears the trucker hat that previously had Mightiest Avengers
Strongest.
on it. Then now he's sharpied over it so that instead of Mightiest, it's Strongest.
I saw Tyron Magnus and Real Rejects got those hats. Where can you get them? You know what I'm saying? I want one.
One of them, Thor being the strongest Avenger, a recurring
Strongest
that's been in all these
Avenger.
movies. Meanwhile, his whole look is modeled on Vincent D'Onofrio's character in Adventures of Babysitting, where that girl thought he was Thor. But another one of his fitness goals was to tow the entire Benatar. The fact that he's able to take any steps at all is pretty impressive. I feel like this session is going to end with Quill just flooring it and yanking Thor off planet, so that they can suddenly hit the brakes, and then he like smacks up against the back window this time. All right, on to the next clip.
And after all that,
What are they fighting?
he reclaimed his title
Creatures.
as the one and only Thor. Oh,
Sword to see.
Jane?
Yo, this helmet looks crazy though.
So Thor here
I
is
thought it was a
fighting off
different
these
Thor.
dark monsters who are attacking the town of New Asgard. These may be the Black Berserkers, who are Gorr's minions from the comics, whom he summons with his sword, really extensions of himself. Since All Black was a weapon of the symbiote deity of Null in the comics, the Black Berserkers are in a way kindred of the symbiotes, which yes, remain Sony properties, but Marvel doesn't have to explicitly go into the sword's symbiote backstory in this movie. It is nice to see all the other townspeople actively fighting off the Berserkers as well. It's not just the Asgard protectors, the Ironjar. I don't know. But yeah, we are seeing plainclothes civilians picking up pipes and stuff and beating them down. Now, Thor tries to summon Mjolnir, but it hovers inches from his fingers, and Luke lightsabers from Kylo Ray. Jane Foster is the mighty Thor from Jason Aaron's comic run, in which Jane uses Mjolnir to power up into Thor to escape her cancer treatments. This trailer may later hint at why Jane is carrying Mjolnir. I'll get to that in a bit. Right here, there is some odd editing going on, because in the reaction shot, Thor is suddenly now suited up in his brighter golden armor and his helmet, as opposed to his leather armor that he was wearing before.
Different Thor?
Really, we're seeing two moments stitched together. Maybe one earlier in the battle, and then one at the end of the battle where the two finally step up to each other. To be honest, there is something goofy about the framing here. Like Thor, even under the mask, this looks plated into this shot, as if they may be masking something here. Like, I'm just gonna be surprised if this is exactly how it looks in the theatrical version of the movie. So why the armor upgrade? Why are all the characters wearing armor upgrades? I think it may be Jane as the mighty Thor wielding Mjolnir that causes all the Asgardians to suit up in this new badass look. Like Jane signals a new changing of the guard. Let's move on.
Okay, interesting.
Your ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months.
6 days.
Ooh, okay, so Jane is riding a Pegasus. The same kind of steed Valkyrie rode in Endgame. She's riding into this weird chamber. See 2 shots of it here, but there's a wider shot later in the trailer that gives us a big shot of it.
Yo, you can see the
statues that should look familiar to you. These are
the Watcher.
The clearest one to the far right
What's the
is the
Beyonder?
No,
Tribunal. There
it's
we
the
go.
3-headed chief justice of the multiverse. Its face is representing equity, necessity,
Said
and
Beyonder.
revenge. They just made a cameo in Multiverse of Madness, the first alternate dimension that America Chavez and Strange tumbled through. But in that case, all 3 faces were separated from each other. Maybe a way of showing that we were on a different dimensional plane there. And of course, another one of its Living Tribunal statues showed up severed in the void in Loki.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Could that have been a reality where the Living Tribunal was overthrown, maybe by someone like Gorr the God Butcher? The fact that the Living Tribunal showed up here is interesting, but he's not alone, because because right behind the living
Uatu,
tribunal is a
right?
vault statue that looks like the Watcher, Uatu, the character
Right.
voiced by Jeffrey Wright. And what if the Watcher's being another cosmic entity that just oversees, observes the multiverse?
This is
Not
gonna be
supposed to
crazy.
interfere. But then if you slide to the left, there is a hooded figure, a skull, presumably
Red Skull?
Lady Death, who
Oh,
in the
Lady
comics
Death,
Thanos did all of his dirty stuff for. Then on the left in the far back, there is a bald feminine figure who looks a lot like Infinity, the sister to Eternity. And then between them, I think that might be Eon, aka He Who Waits, an offspring of Eternity who's associated with the concept of time. So what is
Interesting.
this place? Well, Jane entered this through a glowing orange rift, suggesting that it's not accessible through any physical means. I'm wondering if this could be a shrine to the higher tier of cosmic beings above the god tier, perhaps an MCU version of those who sit above in shadow, the gods to the gods who oversee the Asgardians and lend Mjolnir its power. Perhaps it was these figures who selected Jane to wield Mjolnir. Because notice it is
Interesting.
only here where she's channeling the lightning and the thunder to power the hammer. These
Right.
overseers of the multiverse may have taken mercy on Jane Foster for her cancer and seen some cosmic imbalance with Mjolnir being destroyed, selecting Jane as the all-time keeper of Thor's heart as the rightful wielder for this particular
How quickly
battle.
do you think
And
they're
I
gonna
say
kill
this
her off?
particular
Probably
because
not
I
this
don't
movie,
know
huh?
if the plan is to ultimately have Jane Foster be the permanent Thor going forward. That
Right.
wasn't the case ultimately in the Mighty Thor comic run. I think ultimately by the end of this movie, Mjolnir may be destroyed once more, and like
Right.
Beta Ray Bill may be wielding Stormbreaker. Now another
That'd
way
be
to
cool.
interpret this is you could connect it to the Temple Art of Morag back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. That art depicted 4 figures: Death, Infinity, Eternity, and Entropy. Now we don't know if these 5 in this chamber are the only statues in this room. There could be
Okay.
more out of frame. But either
Sure.
way, I think we are looking at the reigning hierarchy of cosmic authorities in the MCU. You have humans on one tier. Above them, you have the Asgardians. They report to Zeus. Zeus and his tier literally being larger gods, 10 feet tall, who reign over the pantheon of gods of Olympus. And then all of those
Right.
gods report to this ultimate cosmic
Cosmic,
tier, including
okay.
the living tribunal, Death,
So,
Uatu,
Olympians
Eon,
are
and
above
Infinity.
Asgardians.
Now, moving on, Thor
Interesting.
says 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days since he and Jane broke up. Now,
Since the
Thor
release of
Ragnarok made it
Thor
sound like he and Jane's breakup
Dark
was
World?
recent. So 8 years, 7 months after that would track with this movie keeping up with the MCU present day of 2025. But Jane
Okay.
thinking 3 to 4 years is not her losing track or not caring about Thor, because remember, Jane was blipped. Her face showed up on their screens, and the official screenplay confirmed that Jane Foster was one of the blip victims. Now, again, that
Got you.
screenplay also confirmed Wong dusted as well, despite Spider-Man No Way Home ignoring that, making Wong Sorcerer Supreme while Strange was blipped, but that would hardly be the first MCU plot hole ever. So, if Jane
That's
blipped,
crazy. I didn't know
it
that.
would only feel like 3 or 4 years instead of 8.5. Then
Right.
Chris Hemsworth makes, I think, my favorite vocalization he has ever made.
It was weird.
Valkyrie Bean here confirms
It
that she's
was.
among Thor and Korg and the Guardians when they are on Centauri 4. I just love all these shots of Valkyrie's armor, that bold black and silver color
I like
with
it,
this
it's cool.
Norse logo. The
Yeah.
bold black and silver makes her visually, at least, a perfect fit for what I think will be the final battle of this movie, a desaturated one with Gorr. And we meet him in the next section, so let's move on.
All right.
The only ones who gods care about.
Themselves. Dude, Christian Bale might actually like really kill it, man. Like, I think he might really do something with this role.
Themselves.
He looks interesting.
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we hear Christian Bale as Gorr the God Butcher. This interesting shot, though, of a piece of rock floating toward a rift in space, toward a lonely planet on the other side, maybe Earth, maybe someplace else. On that rock's surface is a kind of cage structure. It actually looks like the red cape of Thor inside of it. This might be
Got
how
you.
Gorr navigates from place to place. Then the hilt of
Okay.
All the Necker sword, or whatever they're going to call this sword in this movie, lifts into Gorr's hand, and then Gorr reveals himself, pushing out of a snaking tangle of inky vines and lowering his hood to show his scarred face. White robes stained with blood from his mouth and his open wounds. It seems like we only ever see Gorr in black and white, except for
Right.
his eyes. They especially
Right.
boosted the contrast in this shot, giving it a noirish quality like we saw in Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez's Sin City. This upped contrast just really sharpens all the scars and the lines
Yeah,
of
it
his face,
does.
giving him a withered look, making him look both very strong but also
Also
dead
dead
inside.
and
Like the
dirty.
most jacked corpse you've ever seen. A man who has lost everything, has nothing to lose. Vengeance incarnate. Now, Gorr in the comics has an interesting headpiece and has no nose. But I personally am thankful they let Christian Bale keep his nose, because I don't care if Voldemort's supposed to have a snake nose in the books. I know he does. It's just Ralph Fiennes looks stupid in those movies. They tried to make it work, it did not work, and it would have been better if they just let Ralph Fiennes keep his damn nose. Christian Bale has a cool, scary, angular face, and they are smart not to cover it up.
Cool,
now,
scary, angular
that Gorr
face.
pushes through may actually be a form of his sword. That black and white world could actually be a pocket realm that is created by All Black. Now, of course, one of Gorr's victims is Falagar the Behemoth, a frame taken directly by Esad Ribiqu's amazing artwork and Jason Aaron's storyline. And can we use this opportunity to beg Marvel Studios to stop just giving these comics writers and artists a special thanks in the credits of the movie? Pay them as much as you're paying the directors, especially if you're lifting the frame and putting directly in the marketing of the movie, which is
I don't know. I'm out of that discussion. I don't know, man.
Make it right. Pay your artists. On to the next clip.
I think they did get into some trouble about that, though, right? Recently. Jeez. What kind of move was that?
Never forget your first.
So Thor pops Stormbreaker into the goat boat, which is what I'm going to call it now. And that boat leaves a rainbow wake, as Stormbreaker has the power to bypass the Rainbow Bridge. Jane and Valkyrie help Thor fight off some Olympian guards. And here, and actually you can see even more clearly in that butt shot, you can see Thor has some back tattoos. It looks like he inked Loki's helmet and a square shape that I think might be Mjolnir. He might have inked everything he has lost onto his back. So that might also include Odin, his mother Frigga, Jane, Tony Stark, Black Widow, all the things he has lost. So why are they fighting in Olympus here? I'm wondering if maybe when Thor showed up at Falagar's crime scene, Thor could have been falsely accused for killing these gods, as Olympus may think only Thor has the might to take down so many of them. Then an epic shot of Gorr plunging his sword, clutching the blade into a planet or moon, destroying it. This would explain how he's able to kill Falagar. I am wondering if Gorr is doing this to try to kill a celestial that might be gestating inside. Do it while you can, Gorr. It's about to become illegal in 26 states. Thor tells Jane, you never forget your first, talking about her first bad guy, but his sly implication there is that they were both each other's first true loves, or at least she was his, and he will never forget her. On to the next clip.
Unlike the other gods of kill. You have something worth fighting for.
That was a really good trailer. I like he does that.
Thor and Valkyrie fight Gorr on this broken surface that he shattered before. The photography just looks incredible. It looks as though Thor and Valkyrie are in the process of being desaturated during this fight. Like Gorr could be draining the color and the life force from the world. You can see this especially as Valkyrie parries Gorr using one of Zeus's lightning bolts. Like the rest of her body is desaturated.
He kills Zeus.
Seems to be coming from that bolt. The same is happening with Thor amidst a blast from Stormbreaker. Other than the bolts, the rest of the shot has the color draining from it. So why is Valkyrie using Zeus's bolt? Maybe Zeus has been killed and the ranking power of Olympus has temporarily passed down to her during this crisis. It just seems like as the final battle wages on, all of the color is going to be drained until we are in complete black and white. A stylistic choice that we previously have only seen in the MCU and things like WandaVision and the first Captain America film in order to invoke a deliberately nostalgic
That's
quality.
crazy,
Here,
actually.
It looks like the
You
color
think about
changing
it.
is a direct consequence of factors within the scene. On to the last clip.
Let's see who you are. I take off
Flick.
your disguise. And flick.
Look too hard, damn it.
Flick too hard, damn it!
Yo, this is so hilarious.
Great.
So Russell Crowe as Zeus sounds like he's committing to a Greek accent. Good for you, Russell. And I gotta love the word choice of flick, which yeah, is becoming a bit of an MCU inside innuendo, because remember Ant-Man and Endgame said flick me, Captain, as he stuck his butt out, because if you spell out flick me in a Comic Sans word bubble in all caps and italics, the L and the I begin to merge together to look like a U. So you know the line, you flick too hard, damn it. You get the idea. And I assume Thor will not be blurred out when we see this in theaters. I love how everyone on this day is faints, aside from Zeus, but including the guys and that bearded harpist. Meanwhile, Jane, Valkyrie, and Korg wear hooded cloaks while they sit in the stands. I presume they're currently disguised, not that great disguises, but in the official's photo that revealed Bastet, they were not wearing those cloaks. Seated behind them here is a god with larger feet, suggesting that many of the gods seated around them may have immense
because Bast is under them, right?
And Ammit were in Moon Knight. Now, we can't really see Bastet too well here. Maybe we'll see her better in the IMAX aspect ratio version of the this trailer, but you can see from her feline ears, she is turning her head a bit, taking it in. Now, Bastet and Bast are both names referring to the Egyptian cat goddess, but also Bast is the Wakandan panther deity. This movie may suggest the mythologies of Black Panther and Moon Knight and Thor are all linked, part of the same mythological system, as Moon Knight started to do by confirming the ancestral plane is just one of many MCU afterlives along with the duo Moon Knight. Maybe Bast and Bast
movie is gonna be crazy.
Maybe Black Panther is considered an avatar of Bast, and since Bashenga consumed that heart-shaped herb and met Bast in 10,000 BC, really Wakanda mythology was the first mythology on the planet Earth in the MCU, implying that may have influenced all the rest. That is everything I found in this trailer. And
that's actually crazy.
With Shortbox to give away a rated copy of What If number 10 from 1978, the first appearance of Jane Foster.
It's not
as
often he
Thor.
puts like his sponsors and stuff at the end of the video.
Any Shortbox order.
I'm
This
surprised.
Saturday, May 28th at 9 p.m. within Games Improv in the Mission, the Stageworks Theater. Come hang out with me. It's gonna be fun. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVox.
They're about to watch
Subscribe to New Rockstars for more
they still do
everything you
those?
love. Thanks for watching.
That's pretty
Bye.
cool. Anyways, this is a great video by Eric Voss over at New Rockstars, man. Really broke it down. 20 minutes flew right past me because I was just enjoying and really taking in all the information he was giving me. You know what I'm saying? Thor: Love and Thunder looks really good. I can't wait to check out this movie. I really think Gorr is going to be something to witness. He may even become one of those, like, you know, people have like their favorite villains or like villains like, yo man, like he killed the role, like probably one top 10, top 5 best MCU / superhero villain, you know, of all times. People may even come out talking about some Gorr is right, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, I have a feeling Gorr is right, or Gorr was right is gonna be like a shirt or on like a coffee mug or something pretty soon. Anyways, y'all let me know down below in the comments. He's gonna be like another Thanos, not Thanos quite in the scope, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna side with him. Anyways, y'all let me know down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? I can't wait to watch this movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm flustered. Anyways, with that being said, I'm repeating myself. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on YouTube. It takes less than 2 seconds to subscribe. It's practically free. I'm so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, please join me. You won't regret it. I upload content almost every other single day. And we're about to go crazy all summertime. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, hit the subscribe button and tune in for the journey. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can actually go to my Instagram, Leroy Said So, and you can actually send me stuff, and I'll react to it. Crazy, right? I know. With that being said, peace.